If you don't agree with everything Wayne Grudem says, why did you use his book for your systematic theology class at Redeeming Life Church? That's the question. This is Redeeming Life Q&A, and I'm Pastor Bryan. This is where I try to answer the questions you are asking. And I got that question last night in the systematic theology class that I'm teaching. Why did you choose Grudem's book over other books? I think that's a very reasonable question, and I'd like to address it. The first reason we chose this book is because we have a statement of faith at Redeeming Life Church, and we would like our fellowship groups and our classes to be in line with that statement of faith. And so I couldn't simply choose a good book that's way outside of the boundaries of what we believe. I could choose the Foundations of Pentecostal Belief, or maybe we could go through the Westminster Catechism or something like that. So I wanted to stick to a Baptist systematic theology, or one from a Baptist perspective, because that would be the easiest. Now, we have some options. Look at these big monsters. We have Systematic Theology by Grudem. We have Christian Theology by Millard Erickson, which is fantastic. I think Elmer Towns would come from a Baptist perspective. But look at how big those books are. They're huge. They're monsters. And so I wanted to find a smaller book that would be a little more concise and a little bit easier, and that would go through kind of the entirety of the basics of systematic theology we wanted to cover. And so my options became a little bit more limited. If I want a little small book like this one, this is Grudem's Christian Beliefs, 20 Basics Every Christian Should Know. We're using the revised edition, but this one works well. You can see it's a thin little book. J.I. Packer's Concise Theology is a fantastic book, except J.I. Packer is an Anglican, and some of the things in here are not going to line up super well. That doesn't mean we can't look at opposing views and that these things couldn't come into our conversation, but if I'm going to ask people to read the book, I want it to line up as closely as it can. And I also want to let you know, I don't have disagreements on any major issues. The book that I'm using is not out of line with our statement of beliefs, and I agree with Grudem on all the major doctrines. It's just some of the finer points, and disagreement is okay. We could have also gone through something like, the Baptist Faith and Message, or I could have picked other books, but I wanted something that looked holistically at systematic theology well, and I think for our purposes, Wayne Grudem's book is probably the best choice, and I don't have to agree with every single thing that's said there. I don't think it all lines up perfectly with my beliefs, and that's how most books are. The only one that I really want to make sure I'm lined up with completely and perfectly is the Bible. But Grudem is helping us to journey through that, and Grudem is an excellent systematic theologian. I find his material very, very helpful. We also could have gone through something like Now That I'm a Christian, What Does It Mean to Follow Jesus by Michael Patton. It's a great book, very helpful. I've had questions on why aren't we using those books. Well, because Patton's book is more about the Christian life, and there are many like it, rather than here's a big look at the major doctrines of the church. So I could have picked lots of different books. I chose this one. I don't necessarily have to agree with every single thing, and neither do you, especially if you're going through the class, because we're talking about how we go to the Bible, we find the compelling arguments from the Bible, and then we hold to those. As I know if Wayne Grudem were teaching the class, he would want as well. So we picked a book to be a simple tool, but our primary and chief resource in all of this is the Bible, and that's what we want to align ourselves to. I hope this helps, especially if you're in the class, and if not, there are lots and lots and lots and lots of systematic theology options, and find one that works really well for you, and then read another one, and then read another one, and just see how they help you best understand the Bible. If you have a question that you'd like to ask, you can reach out to us on the website or through social media or we have a text line. You can text us at 385-368-6665, and I'll see what I can do about answering your question.